Good morning, everyone. We begin with chanting universal well-being. May I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction,
freedom from
hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all beings release from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. When they act upon intention, all beings are the owners of their action, and inherit its results. Their future is born from such action, companion to such action, and its results will be their home. All actions with intention, be they skillful or harmful, of such acts there will be the heirs. So, morning again. We continue our exploration on the wholesome dharmas. 11 of them presented in Yogacara school, and today I want to speak about avesha, what is non-hatred, or also translated are non-ill will, non-anger. To start, I want to share a story. It's kind of a very deeply touched me. I think it was maybe half a year ago, maybe longer. Nipun Mehta interview James Odia. And James Odia was a chief for a while of Amnesty International, the non-profit organization, foundation, who is advocate for death penalty and for human rights. Abolish death penalty. short correction. Yeah. They sending the observator to do very tough places in the world, and himself, I think James Odia was in Beirut, he was probably in Rwanda, when there was this massive killing happened there. And I think he was in former Yugoslavia as well. Very difficult and tough places. And what is kind of amazing about him, he's not just activist. Like, he kind of matched the activism and spirituality, showing that both works hand in hand. And he once was invited to speak in Washington, D.C. area. It was one of the largest synagogue there. And he talked about the death penalty. And in the end of the talk, it was a Q&A. An old lady stood up. He could see on her arm the mark of concentration camp, the number. She was a concentration camp survivor. And she says to him, "What about the death penalty for Nazis? I can understand no death penalty for someone who kill in the moment of passion. But Nazis, they deserve it. If someone like them will be here in the room, I will grab his neck and break the neck like a chicken. And he says it was quite intense in the room. And what he did, he kind of paused, wait for a moment, wait a little bit longer. And he says it was so silent that you can hear the pin drop in the room. And he looked at her and says, "No, you wouldn't. You are too far beautiful to do that." He said to her. And she, like, he says, become like 16 years old. Oh no, he says, and sit down. And he loved it. And the whole room kind of loved it loudly with kind of relief. Because, wow, it was a very skillful response. And I was reflecting on this, how he approached and kind of connect to her. First, kind of meet her with silence. Kind of, I hear you. And the silence kind of speak, I hear you. I can understand what you feel. I don't dismiss your pain. Kind of, I'm with you in that. At the same time, and kind of, you will not do that. And you're too far beautiful to do that, he says, and kind of connecting to her beauty in her heart, her, can say, humanity, to kind of say the place of loving kindness, this inner beauty. And I can kind of imagine that even her reaction was like connecting to, maybe we talked about the hiri, right? What is the quality of protect beauty in our heart? No, it's not worthy to do this. No, and it's not worthy. You can kind of leave the cycle of hatred, the cycle of be a executor and victim and executor, and goes on and on. If we connected to this beauty, this impulse to revenge can melt. Can still have open heart, and definitely this anger arises from the place when we care about something or someone crossed our boundaries or hurt us. But it's another place to respond. And the Buddha, in Dhammapada, it's number 5, says, for hatred does not cease by hatred at any time. Hatred ceases by love. This is an unalterable law.
What?
You can
Eternal law?
Internal law.
Eternal.
Internal law.
An eternal law.
Sorry.
I think as they say often. This is an eternal law.
Yeah, it's internal law. My English pronunciation sometimes surprise me. But it's I often see with this lack of hatred in the Buddhist teaching, lack of ill will, which we chanted today in the beginning, right? Freedom from hostility, freedom from ill will, freedom from anxiety. This is the place of this deep care. This is the place of loving kindness. And maybe for today, I can encourage everyone to bring alive this inner beauty in our hearts. So, and any time that some impulse of irritation arises in our heart, maybe first we can do like James and pause for a moment. Pause and relax. And we can meet this with this kind of a caring kindness. You don't have to follow it. You can wait it, and this is dissolve itself. And this inner beauty can maintain, and this is a real gift that He can offer to ourselves and everyone around us. So I think this time's up, so I finish here.
Maybe just to say, I think probably people got it, but the powerful line there he said was, "You are far too beautiful to do that."
Yeah.
You're far too beautiful to do that. And so, just to imagine for ourselves, you're far too beautiful for anger. Okay.
Okay.